What is going on, everybody? This is BroncoJuggalo, and I just got done watching Three from Hell, the 2019 Rob Zombie follow-up to The Devil's Rejects. Now, this is a film that nobody really wanted, honestly, including the stars of the movie. Sid Haig and Bill Moseley would say that they would go to cons together. People would ask them if there would be another one, and they'd be like, no, because we're dead. So, for all these years now, they've been dead. I was fine with that. Devil's Rejects is one of my favorite films, and I was fine with them being dead. I love the way that movie ended. I love how they went out. But, we did get this movie. So now we're going to talk about it, and we're going to find out if it's fucking worth it. And I'm here to tell you, it fucking is. This movie is fucking amazing. I think I like it just as much, if not even more, than Devil's Rejects. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to watch it again, right after I finish this. As I said, directed by Rob Zombie. We have Otis Driftwood, played by Bill Moseley. We have Sid Haig, playing Captain Spaulding. We have Sherry Moon Zombie, playing Baby Firefly. And we have the newcomer, Richard Brake, playing Winslow Foxy Coltrane, Baby and Otis's half-brother. Yet another Firefly, born a Mama Firefly, and some other fucking dude. Cameos and appearances in this film and smaller roles. We got Emilio Rivera, who does an awesome job. You may know him from Sons of Anarchy and Mayans. Of course, we have Danny Trejo as Hondo once again. And Emilio actually plays Danny Trejo's son in this film. We have appearances from Dee Wallace, who is a legend in her own right. We have appearances from Barry Bostwick, which is awesome. Bill Oberst and the legendary Clint Howard all make appearances in this film. And I'm all for it, man. These guys did a great job. Everybody in this movie was so fucking good. I'm going to get to that here in a minute. I want to address the Richard Brake situation. Richard Brake is in this movie because as they started to talk about doing this film, everybody was on board. Everybody was for it. And then Sid got really sick. And it was becoming more and more apparent that he could not hold down the full role. So they had to keep reworking the script. And finally, they just had to work it down to where he only did one day of shooting, did one very, very non-strenuous thing, which was the interview scenes. And even in that, you could tell he was really tired and really hurting. But he pulled through it like a trooper, man. And I'm going to get into that here in a second. But he did an awesome job, but still. They had to bring in somebody who could take his place, basically. Not in our hearts and not in, our souls or anything like that, but on screen that could fill in for him and fill his shoes. And Richard Brake did an awesome job with that, in my opinion. So this is not normally how I do things. I reviewed House of a Thousand Corpses the other day because Jason and I watched it together, and I just decided to review it because Sid Haig had passed and I wanted to review it. Then myself, Jason, and Joe watched Devil's Rejects together. I didn't do the review for that one because I didn't feel like doing it yet. And then I went and I rented Three from Hell from Redbox tonight, and I decided I had to do this review right away. So I'm going out of order, which is very odd for me. I will go back and do the Devil's Rejects pretty soon. That I promise. Guys, like I said, I fucking loved this movie. It is so good. I've heard people say, oh, it's just a rip-off of Devil's Rejects. He ripped off his own movie. I don't buy into that at all. I'm sorry, I don't. It's not a rip-off of Devil's Rejects. It's a perfect marrying. It's a perfect marriage. It's a perfect continuation. You know how a lot of us in the horror community say that you can watch Halloween 1 and Halloween 2 back-to-back like a perfect fucking movie, and it's all one big movie? That's how this one is with Devil's Rejects. You could start Devil's Rejects and end with Three from Hell back-to-back seamlessly. If they came out with one film that was both of these films put together and it'd be 4 hours long, I'd be fine with that. This film was fucking amazing. And it's not a rehash, it's a continuation. It's a follow-through of the story, and it's seamless. It really does transition well. And I really enjoyed that. That being said, I have one con. Now, like I said, a lot of us didn't want this movie. We liked that they had died. We liked that it was over. But they did bring them back, and I didn't mind it. I didn't mind how they brought them back from basically the dead. What I did kind of find an issue with was Otis's escape. Now, there are going to be some spoilers in this review, guys. I'm sorry, I can't talk about this movie without some spoilers. It just doesn't work, okay? Otis's escape in this film. He is a death row inmate. So why the fuck is he out on a work detail in the middle of nowhere with a few guards? Death row inmates don't get work detail. Not like that. Not outside the fucking prison. No, it doesn't happen. That is the one thing I totally didn't buy into. And for just a second it pulled me out. But then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I get why they're doing it. They need to get this story going. Fuck it. Let's just go with it. It is what it is. Also, to continue the story, bringing in that Richard Brake character, and because of Sid Haig's health, they did kill Captain Spaulding, which in my heart really kind of sucked. Even though I didn't mind him being dead before, because I didn't mind the way he went out. But they killed him with lethal injection in this, and I was like, man, I really kind of wish he would have went out violently, and, you know, but he did go out on a great performance. His performance in this film was very short, Sid Haig's, but it was so powerful, and the words were so good. And they really resonated with me, and I don't know why, but they did. And I just loved what he said. I'm your bozo Jesus, hung out to dry for the sins of the world. All hail the man behind the grease paint. And I just thought that was so powerful, and I have no clue why, but it was so good. And it really resonated with me. There is something about these characters. There's something about these films to where my wife even said it too, and I've said it before in Rejects. At the end of Rejects, you're rooting for them. You want them to get through, and you want them to get away. This film is no different. Throughout this whole movie, you're rooting for them. You're like, go, yes, get him, baby, get him, you know, get him, Otis, get him. And you want this trio of people to get away. You want them to keep going. You want them to keep rampaging. And I don't know if it speaks to our basest nature, if it speaks to the demons that we all have inside, or if it's just because they're doing what a lot of us wish we could do. Wait, is that wrong? Honestly, I don't know, but I love the way that it feels, and I think it's escapism in a safe environment. It's kind of like, that's why we watch horror movies. You know, there are those of us that aren't going to go out and rip somebody down the middle with a buck knife. But watching somebody else do it on TV gives us that escape to where we don't have to go and do it. We just got our aggression out watching somebody else do it. You know, in a safe, fun, fake environment. I don't know. I'm no psychologist. What the fuck do I know? Let's start with my pros, guys. I really want to talk about performances. I kind of hinted at that a little bit already with Sid Haig. I got to give him a shout out because what he did in a limited amount of time, with as sick as he was, it was just so awesome and so powerful. The dialogue in this movie was powerful and awesome. And, you know, Rob Zombie, even from me, gets a lot of shit for his dialogue. But in this universe, in these roles, he is writing great fucking dialogue. He is doing these characters such a service with the words he writes. The shit that Otis, that first 20 minutes of the film, or maybe 15 minutes, 10 minutes, I don't know. There's like an interview scene and the trial scene. They're going through everything that happened, you know. The dialogue in that is just so powerful. And I watched the behind the scenes, and he kind of took that style, that thing from the Manson trial and the interviews and the, you know, the documentary they were doing during the Manson trial. And it just shows the obsession that this country has and the obsession that we as human beings have with people that do terrible things. And it really fucking speaks, you know, and I don't know what it's saying, but I know we need to stop fucking listening or start listening. One of the two. Sid Haig did a great performance. In my opinion, this is the best performance of Bill Moseley's career. He is better than he was in Rejects. He is better than he was in House. And believe me, he's a million times better than he was as Chop Top, because that character fucking sucked. I hate Chop Top. I still hate Chop Top. Love performance from Bill Moseley. But the performance that I have to mention, stand out, absolutely brilliant, Sherry Moon Zombie. And I am always on her case, guys. You've seen my videos, you've seen my reviews of other movies she's been in, and I ride this bitch hard. I am on her case so bad. And I know that sounded wrong, but that's not how, you know what I mean. She does an amazing job in this movie as Baby Firefly. I've always thought that Baby was her character. That was the character she was good at. I liked her roles as Baby in all the movies. But in this one, she just stepped it up a million steps. Cranked that fucking amp to 11, even though they're only supposed to go to 10. And she is just fucking amazing. She even told Rob, she said that she was going to play this a little differently. She was going to play it like everybody's doing this and she's on a whole other planet. And that's how it was, to where even Otis, in character, acknowledges that he's like, Baby has fucking lost it. You know, she is looped. She is far out there. And she really was. She is fucking nuts in this movie. She's always been nuts. But even for her, she is nuts. Like, she's talking to squirrels nuts. She's out there conversating with the stars. You know, like nuts. She is fucking gone. And it's done so well, and she is so good in this movie. I gotta give major props to Sherry Moon Zombie. For the first time, probably ever, I've said that I've got to give her major props, because, you know, she did such an awesome job. I fucking loved her in this movie. The blood, the gore, the violence. As in all of Rob Zombie's films, it's there, and it's fucking intense. And it's done masterfully well. I fucking love how they did it. And I loved one thing in particular I got to talk about. There is a daylight killing scene in the middle of the day in the middle of suburbia. Baby chases this lady down and just guts her. Right in the middle of the freaking lawn. And right across the street, there's an old lady watching. She's got this oxygen tank next to her. She's sitting on her lawn chair. And she's got a cigarette in her hand. And Baby is just stabbing the hell out of this bitch. And all of a sudden, she looks up and sees this old lady, and she's like, "Hi, Granny." And the grandma's like, you know, and then Baby goes back inside and is like, you know, we should probably get out of here. This old granny just saw me gut this chick, you know. And I thought that was funny that Baby didn't go and kill her too. She was like, okay, whatever, she ain't part of this. She just left her. And just, oh, it's natural. This lady's going to call the cops. We should go. But then she goes off on a total different tangent. And even though the cops are coming and they're trying to get the hell out of there, she's like, no, wait, I want to take this too, and I want to take that. And she pulls down what I think is just a decorative bow and arrow and an Indian headdress. And oh my gosh, she wears that throughout the film, and it's just so funny. And it totally, when I first saw the release of this, the box art, I was like, why is she wearing that Indian headdress? And Jason was like, dude, it'll make sense when you watch it. And it does. It truly does make sense. You know, I have to say something else too. Jason is 100% right. If you say you like Devil's Rejects, but you don't like this movie, you're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry, but you are. If you don't like this movie, but you like Devil's Rejects, there's something fucking wrong with you. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. Last thing I really want to talk about is, again, I love the music in this film. Rob Zombie does such an awesome job. Being a musician himself, he should. But he always finds the perfect songs for the mood and for the atmosphere and for what's going on. At the end of the movie, they're playing Inagata Vita as shit starts to break loose, and it's fucking amazing. And it's always that 70s music, which is what Rob is known for, which what he likes. And I think it's cool because I love that music as well, and it really does fit these films. All in all, guys, I got to give Rob Zombie major props for this one. I'm on Rob Zombie's case more than anybody for Halloween. Okay? He should never have gotten a hold of Halloween. That was terrible. It did not work. All the Rob Zombie stuff that he put into Halloween should not have been there. He should have saved it all and just kept it in his own universes. It works in this one. It worked in 31. It works in this trilogy. Rob Zombie has created a masterpiece trilogy with House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and Three from Hell. And I can't wait to see what happens next. I truly hope the story continues. Give me another one, guys. It's able to do it. Give me another one. I can't wait to see what happens. I really hope that we get more. So with that being said, guys, this is BroncoJuggalo saying, go and check out Three from Hell if you haven't already. It's fucking awesome. I will talk to you guys later. Peace.
Hey, hey, hey. Dead body, man.